Hi. The winner of this year's International Booker Prize, At Night All Blood is Black by David Diop, who's a French writer. This was translated from the French. And I saw his interview on the Hay Festival, their online thing a couple of weeks ago. And really interesting guy. And the spark was letters that he read from his I'm going to say grandfather. I'm pretty sure it was. I can't remember now. I never made a note, but I remember being really intrigued by the interview. And it's to do with the Senegalese soldiers in the First World War. The Senegalese joined with the French during the World War One, and they were called the chocolate soldiers. That was the term that they were referred to. And the idea is, as it says in the book, that these guys would be the first ones out of the trenches, screaming their battle cries with their rifles and their machetes to frighten the Germans. So this was what the Senegalese warriors were there for. And it's the story of Alpha and Mademba, who are two very, very good friends. Alpha refers to Mademba as my more than brother. Mademba is fatally injured on the battlefield, and the book is the effect that the Mademba's death has upon Alpha. And it's his descent into madness, because it sends him on a wave of brutality. It's a very brutal book. It's a very gruesome book. And I found it almost Homeric at times, because if you read Homer, he has epithets for people, golden-haired Achilles, all that sort of thing. And in here, he always refers to Mademba as my more than brother. You've got different phrases that occur again and again. And so there was almost a poetic feel to the book that I thought. You've got also very sexual imagery. He describes the trench as a woman, that almost the sexual thing, that it's the opening of a woman's vagina sort of thing. So you get the idea of these soldiers entering a woman when they return home. I mean, to me, it was it saying that this was like a sexual experience? Because a lot of these soldiers in Mademba had no experience of women before the war because they were that young. Or was it almost like being home, returning to the womb? I don't know, but there was that imagery that was in this book as well that was fascinating to think and try and work out what was going on. It's a really, really moving book. And Alpha, you see his descent into madness. His fellow soldiers become frightened of him. They think they're frightened to touch him because they think something will rub off onto them. And then he's sent back down the line. And there you see his madness unravel, and you see the effect that Mademba's death has had upon him. A very worthy winner, I think, of the International Booker Prize. It was a very moving book, a very brutal, very gruesome book, but fascinating. It's a book that leaves you thinking. It's a book that you think about after you've read it. It's not just a book you stick on your shelf and think, that's it, let's move on to the next one. It's a book that stays with you. So this one, pick it up if you get the chance. You won't be disappointed. So that was At Night All Blood is Black. Great read, and I'll catch you later. So happy reading and